What is up, everybody? It's your boy, it's your man, Dirty C, and today we are taking a look at yet another, yes, another surprise banger of a video game in February 2023, Wild Hearts. Heck yeah! We're gonna break down the story, gameplay, and performance of this Kemono hunting extravaganza and lay down our almighty judgment of buy, sell, or ditch. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Now, is Wild Hearts truly worth all the rage? Or does it get trampled and beaten down by the wild King Tusk-like critics? Let's find out. Story. Wild Hearts sees you, the voiceless protagonist, start off as a drifter wandering the feudal Japan-inspired lands of Azuma. Right away, you encounter a mysterious and ghastly figure that encourages you to follow your heart. And I mean literally, follow your heart. You quickly find out that planted in your heart is a contraption known as the Karakuri, which unlocks the game's core gameplay mechanic. But more on that later. After getting through the game's tutorials, you meet and rescue the game's main side characters as they take you to the traditional village of Minoto that is being threatened by various kaiju-type beings known as Kemono. Wait. This sounds familiar. Yes, if you've played Monster Hunter Rise, the story is almost identical, or at least the main setups and motivations are. Much like Monster Hunter Rise, the story in Wild Hearts doesn't really matter. It purely serves as an explanation as to why our protagonist is setting out to slaughter innocent animals. Right? I mean, that's what we do in these games, right? 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 I jest, but the point is that the story plays little to zero role in making this an incredibly enjoyable video game. You find out you have a sweet heart problem that lets you do cool stuff, you go, you kill big beasties, and everybody's happy. Gameplay. The gameplay loop in Wild Hearts is akin to every other monster hunting kind of game you've encountered before. You hunt stuff, you dismember your kill, you make a sweet hat out of their skin. Oh, the simple joys of life. But where Wild Hearts really shines and differentiates itself from the pack is its Karakuri system. Players are able to conjure and build various types of hunting tools that can drastically change the tide of a hunt. You can build a stack of crates to launch off and execute a punishing plunge attack, barriers to block charging Kemono, torches to light your weapons aflame, and my personal favorite, a humongous Looney Tunes style hammer to whack the Kemono for mega damage if timed properly. And these are just scratching the surface. There is a plethora of tools at players' disposal. There are also what is called Dragon Karakuri, builds that aid the player in building camps, and various tools that aid in traversal. The Karakuri system keeps traversal and combat fluid, varied, and creates truly epic moments when you pull off a build just in the nick of time. The core gameplay loop is centered around the game's combat, which is extremely smooth. Whereas in Monster Hunter Rise, combat is precise, calculated, and extremely unforgiving at times, Wild Hearts combat is much more loose and fluid, with 8 different weapon types, all with their own elemental variations, ranging from katanas to hand cannons. Combined with the Karakuri system, there is so much room for variation and creative playstyle. The game also allows for a multiplayer experience, teaming up with other hunters around the world, and in my opinion, this is truly how you're meant to play the game. Watching all of your companions build and strategize in the middle of a tense Kemono battle are the best combat moments in this game. The multiplayer aspect is particularly important because this game is hard. Some of the first couple hunts really took me some time and forced me to learn and internalize the weapon mechanics. And having a helping hand during that learning process made it so much more enjoyable. The only other gameplay mechanic worth mentioning is the quest design, which, to be frank, just provides more explanation as to why you need to go out and hunt. Rewards are occasionally essential for certain upgrade paths, but none of the story content they provide is particularly interesting. Performance. I played Wild Hearts on PS5 and the performance was very okay. I'll be straight up and say this does not look like a current-gen game. Sure, there are moments of beauty and the land of Azuma really pops with its 4 different biomes, but I would categorize the graphics as exceptionally mediocre. During my playthrough, I had a bunch of lighting issues as well. One moment, the environment would be bright and vivid, then suddenly flash and be dark and dull. I also had a huge amount of frame drops throughout my playthrough and consistent stuttering. Probably my biggest gripe with the performance of this game was that the geometry of the landscape made some fairly awkward moments during hunts. Kemono would awkwardly stand on a rock that made it look like it was levitating in thin air, or my hunter would randomly get stuck in the environment as well. This was also exacerbated by the incredibly frustrating camera that sometimes really took away from the momentum of a hunt. If there's one real hiccup this game has, it's definitely its performance, and I'm really hoping that Omega Force takes the time to release performance patches in the future. I was totally hooked on Wild Hearts for the entirety of my 40-hour playthrough. I legitimately could not put it down. The world of Azuma is incredibly well made. The traditional Japanese atmosphere is truly every weeb's playground. And even though the performance and story leave much to be desired, the gameplay is beyond strong enough to make Wild Hearts a great game. So thus, we lay down our almighty judgment of buy. Get Wild Hearts, y'all. It's a total blast. Team up with some people online and take down those pesky Kemono like the samurai badass you know you are. Well, that is it, everybody. I hope this helped you make an informed financial decision. I am loving Wild Hearts. I am going to continue on with the end game, and there is a free DLC update patch coming out in March, adding new Kemono as well, which I can't wait for. Either way, guys, it's your boy, it's your man, Dirty C, signing off, and I will see you in the next video.